yeah, the theme is a very personal thing. As most of the cases with this kind of projects, I I arrive to do an opera and piece of theater about something that I'm passionate about. I did a project about ethnic and religious conflicts. I did a project about winning and losing, and for years now I'm committing myself to this theme, and I think that it's one of the major themes of modern society, and it also defines human condition in a very clear way. So I decided to write an opera about it, and there's no story, there's no fictional story, there's no characters. So it's an abstract opera, if you want to call it like this. It's a sequence of different scenes that fit that in different way, with different approach, touch different elements which are related to the theme. And the core of the project is, of course, the quote by Primo Levi, by the Italian writer Primo Levi, who was a survivor of Auschwitz. And "there is no why here" is the answer that he got from a guard in Auschwitz. He was trying to take an icicle and let it melt because he was thirsty. And this guard came to him and took the icicle from him and threw it away. And he was asking why. And the guard answered, "there is no why here." So that moment, that frozen moment of, if you want, pure despair, is for us the center of the project. And it's also the starting point. Because what we feel is that the fact, the necessity, not only because of the Shoah and because of Auschwitz, but because of a number of other experiences, even more recently, that the concept of good and evil, the necessity of taking choices in a traditional way, using the categories that we used in the past, don't work anymore. Just as simple as that. And Primo Levi, to me, summarizes this status where we don't know what to do because what we thought it was appropriate before doesn't work anymore, and we don't have anything. Apparently we don't have anything. But from there we start, and we start using with the help of three people, three very relevant people. One is Hannah Arendt, who wrote the famous book The Banality of Evil, and we took some quotes from her. Another person is Albert Einstein, who was, during an interview with the American radio, he was pointing out that the moral question is not of the divine, is not outside of human, and he says it's a human question, purely human question, albeit, he says, probably the most important of the human questions. And the third person is Gita Sereny, a journalist, who, starting from the quotes from Hannah Arendt, says, yes, what we need is that those choices that single people took, and because of this, they kind of saved the world in a way, but those choices from the personal status need to become collective. And the collectivity, the fact of being there, and being there, taking choices together. This is the main theme of the last part of the show, of the performance, and in a way our statement. We don't want to give solutions. It's not that we want to create a moral or we want to offer the audience a final package with a solution of this problem. Actually, there's no solution, but what we want to do is to demolish a way of thinking to this particular topic, which we believe don't work anymore, and try to create the conditions for a new start, for a new process. And in this sense, there's a wonderful sentence written by Giorgio van Straten, who is the librettist of this project, who starts from the quote of Primo Levi, "There is no why here," but he adds, "but we are here." And in a sense, the pure presence, the pure existence becomes more important than the reasons that we tried to discover and we did not succeed to discover in the past. So starting from the pure presence of human being, for the human condition, so to speak, we try to create a condition to get what we need, what we think is needed as a paradigm shift, getting out from the categories and the way of thinking of the past, which proved not efficient, and go towards a different way of approaching this thing.